Seth Wright and I met in 2017 in LA. He was doing his MFA, I was finishing film school, and we moved in together after our third date, which remains one of the most spontaneous things I have ever done. While I eschew the love at first sight trope, it's hard for me to explain what happened with Seth any other way. We met at a party hosted by one of my classmates, Tate Alton, whose mother was a moderately famous actor and had a stunner of a beach house. Tate introduced us, and as I shook Seth's hand, I looked into his dark eyes, framed by the most incredible lashes I had ever seen, and my world flipped upside down. We drank too much sangria and sat on the beach in the dark, alternating between making out and testing each other on ridiculous feats of strength and endurance, like who could hold the longest handstand, me, and who could skip a rock the farthest into the ocean, Seth, though we really couldn't see well enough to be sure. Our second date was more traditional, with dinner at a restaurant and then a long beach walk where I held Seth's hand in one of mine and my sandals in the other. He was bright and refreshing, different from the other guys I'd met in LA, like a big squeeze of lemon juice in a glass of water. I was already smitten, but when he invited me to an escape room for our third date, all the clues leading to a key to his apartment and an earnest love letter written by hand, I couldn't imagine saying anything other than yes to his offer of moving in. Sure, my lease was up and it made good financial sense to have a roommate, but it was much simpler than any of that. I was head over heels in love. Times weren't easy for two creatives without secure jobs, but we hustled and limped along all right until the pandemic hit. Then I lost my server job and Seth his personal trainer one, and sooner than either of us expected, we ran out of money and prospects. With Hollywood shut down and no one looking at scripts, particularly from a writer with 0 credits, I could no longer borrow against hope. Going home to Ann Arbor, where I grew up, seemed the best, or only, option. Despite the setback, we promised to continue chasing our dreams, me with my screenplay, Seth with his novel. But since leaving LA a few weeks ago, I've been stagnant, while Seth's motivation has grown, just not for his manuscript, which remains unopened. He's become single-minded about his nearly 2-year-old YouTube channel, The Right Story, which started as a place to capture the daily struggles of an author trying to write the next great American novel. He read some article about how much money could be made on YouTube and became fixated on this solving our pandemic-induced financial woes. Initially, I didn't mind his shift in focus from author to YouTube content creator. I even did the odd video with him because, as he maintained, I was a big part of his story. Plus, between the grinding hustle to pay our bills and his frustrations with his unfinished book, it was nice to see him enthusiastic and excited about something again. No one was in a good mood in those days, as the pandemic raged on and life felt like one struggle after another, but Seth was particularly dark-minded. I'd call it more of a deep apathy than a depression, but it scared the hell out of me. My carefree, creative, and ambitious boyfriend, who had golden retriever-level positivity, became sullen and disconnected, at least until The Right Story took hold of him. I personally didn't get the appeal, either for creators or their audiences, but figured it was merely a happy distraction for Seth, a hobby until he got his feet back under him. I was wrong. As his growing number of subscribers asked for more couple-themed content, and our videos together performed better than his alone, I was soon participating in near-daily videos. We did day-in-the-life shoots of our morning routine, curated, naturally, journaling and stretching, followed by a breakfast of matcha lattes and poached eggs, all before 9 a.m. and the start of the workday. There were craft-related videos, with Seth showing off his color-coded manuscript system, embellished as he only ever used yellow tabs, and even then not consistently, and me sharing tips for a screenplay's 3-act structure.